We saw what the Prime Minister had to say when it came to mocking Tourette's. He then took a grand total of 6 hours before issuing the apology. Now, remember, this is the bloke who, in real time, wanted Barnaby Joyce to say sorry for calling him a sook. So I don't buy Albo's version of the apology, which is, well, I immediately withdrew it. He didn't immediately withdraw it. He doubled down, kept going, and then eventually, when he realised it was a problem, and then, hoping that it wouldn't turn up on the 6 p.m. news, he waited until 8 o'clock at night when everyone in the press gallery had gone home. Well, thankfully, we were rolling on it, so you got this apology.
Today in question time, I made comments that were unkind and hurtful. I knew it was wrong. As soon as I made the comment, I apologised and I withdrew as soon as I said it. But it shouldn't have happened. And I also want to apologise to all Australians who suffer from this disability. I regret saying it. It was wrong, it was insensitive, and I apologise.
Holly, metaphorical free kick from the Senate end.
Hey, look, it is just beyond belief that he came out with this today and then the way he's handled it. Richard Marles' face was, I think, the personification of exactly what it should have been. You could see on Marles' face just the look of abject horror the second Albanese said it. You know, as the parent of a child with a disability, you know, I go crazy when I hear people say, oh, we're all autistic or we're all a bit on the spectrum, because it denigrates the experience of those people like my son who suffer considerable disability because of their autism. But then to use Tourette's as an insult is just offensive. And it's not only offensive, as I said, I was offended as the mother of an autistic child. It's offensive to anyone in the disability community that anyone's disability would be used to mock someone, to denigrate someone. And I think his apology was embarrassing. I think it was inadequate. Obviously, someone in his office has said, quick, get yourself out there and do it now, just
6
before
hours
the House
later.
is risen. Look, I mean, you could even hear it in the speaker's voice. You know, Milton Dick, you could hear when he spoke over the top that everyone was appalled at what he said. And, you know, this is the Prime Minister who promised he'd do politics differently, a gentler politics and a kindler, gentler. And I can tell you it's been nothing but worse than it's ever been under this mob. And this is just another example.
Yeah, Joe, what are we missing?
Go on, defend him,
What
Joe.
are we missing here?
Come on, Joe.
Yeah, no, well, I will defend him. I think this is. I can understand the frustration that the left gets incredibly outraged when anyone on the right does it. I don't think that makes it right for the right to get ridiculously outraged. I mean, the same people who say everything's political correctness gone mad. So this, he was not insulting people with Tourette's. He was using a very, very common vernacular term that Australians use all the time.
Really?
I have plenty of people extremely close to me who have had profound disabilities, including my brother and my best mate. I was not in the remotest offended by it, any more than I would be if someone said that a policy was schizophrenic because it went all over the place. Does that mean that you're insulting schizophrenic people?
But you're missing the second part of it, though. We didn't just say Tourette's. It was it was the mocking of.
But he was saying this is someone who can't stop talking, and he's using what every Australian, I reckon, in the pub at some point or another would have said.
So you think the pub test on this is?
Well, if you say to someone, if you say to someone, "Oh, mate, are you psycho?" Is that insulting? I mean, is mental as anything? Are they insulting?
I mean,
where was the outrage about them?
Isn't it different if it's the
No,
Prime Minister? If this is the guy
I
pretending
think you're pulling a very long bow.
I think it's different when it's the other side. And this is the thing. As someone who...
So you think in the same way one side is too sensitive, there's...
That's right. And I see it all the time, and it does my head in, because I get caned by both sides for actually saying, no, we've got to actually draw back here. There were plenty of people in the chamber laughing just after he said it on both sides.
But I think that's a problem. I think when you're the Prime Minister, you're supposed to be above that stuff. And look, all human beings, especially ones that are speaking extemporaneously, ad-libbing or adversarial conversation, you might go too far. You should have the sensitivity around yourself to know you've gone too far and not just go, oh, because there's going to be a point of order. There's a way to say sorry. 6 hours later.
I don't. But he
not
did it.
from
He
me.
did it straight away. He did it in the
No, he
same
didn't.
breath.
He
just said,
didn't
"Okay, I
do
withdraw."
it straight
The sorry
away.
was at 8 o'clock at night.
Oh,
Question
and I
times at
apologise.
No,
night.
he'd already said 2 or 3 times that he withdrew it, and he said that he apologised straight afterwards. It is there in the audio. You cannot.
So
pretend
why did he go back
black
in
and white.
6 hours later?
To make it even clearer,
Yeah.
because we live in a culture of ridiculous outrage that has
So why
no
not just
sense
hold the
of
line?
proportion. They were in the chamber debating.
Sure, but why not hold the line?
debating the war in Gaza.
I get it.
And this is what people get upset about. You've got 1 million displaced Lebanese people.
They
You've got
actually weren't
40,000
debating the
dead
war in Gaza.
Gaza.